Hello everybody, Reaper X1 here again, and before I get into all of it, I gotta do something. I keep kind of forgetting. I've done a little bits here and there, but I do want to thank Mahjong Monster for creating that intro, or the parts of that intro, and I just edited it together the way I found I enjoyed. But he be the creator of all them pieces that I put together. There's 3 intros in one, so if you like what you saw in that intro, give the thanks to him. He deserves the credit on most of that one. I just arranged a little bit. So, I've been meaning to give him more shout-outs and props than I have. I'm sorry about that, man. I've been trying. Memory is horrible on me. So, he's not the only one I'm going to thank. I'd like to thank everyone else that's joining me here. Welcome. I do thank you immensely. I hope you're having a good one. And I hope you enjoy what you're about to see. And if you do enjoy it, those likes, those comments, those subscriptions, dinging of the bell, all that awesome that only you guys can bring, that is sweet. And always will be appreciated on this little growing channel. And, talking about growing channels, this little tech here, it's going to grow. But as it does, I just like to say thanks once more. Because we're getting close to my end of the year goal. And you might not know, I haven't really said nothing about it, but my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers before the new year. And because of you guys coming and visiting, we're up to 722, I believe it was. So that is awesome. Might make that 1,000 subscriber goal. Once again, thank you. Thank you kindly. Because I don't know, I never expected to have as much fun as I do with YouTube and that. I originally started this channel just to share some ideas with Terra, or on the forums for Terra Tech. And then I got hooked on editing, and yeah, it's fun. I have almost as much fun making the videos as I do playing the games. But anyway, this tech was inspired by a conversation I seen on the forum on one of the threads where someone had stated it is impossible to build a fully functioning mobile base of a decent size. Okay, now this is already bigger than what they consider a decent size, so I'm not even concerned about that. But my goal here is to make a base that is fully functioning. So it has scrapping, it has harvesting, it has battle-ready capabilities, it can craft, it can generate power, it can make money, it could do dirty things at night. No, it doesn't do that. You don't give it a tailpipe, it won't happen. But it can do everything. Plus, maybe a few things I'm forgetting. It's hard to say. Maybe I built something crazy out of it. I don't know. But the whole idea behind this one is just to see what it looks like. Now, the main reason this thing got so big is because of all the storage I'm using. Because I'm going to have storage for each individual raw resource. And I'm going to have a silo for each individual refined version of those resources. I'm not going to store any components. Because holy crap, that'd be huge. I got a different tech on mine for doing that stuff. But it's just part of my warm-up. Because what I kind of almost intend to do is do this build, see how it turns out. And then, yeah, you gotta have solar gens when you can re-anchor, right? Makes sense. And then after that, if I feel like I can do better, maybe I'll try and make a compact version of a craft anything, mobile, do everything, end of world, re-anchorable base. I think that would be cool. It'd be neat if I could get it under 15 by 15 by 15. I think that would be sweet. But without all this selective storage, I think it's really doable. Couple large silos instead of all them. Let everything just slam into that group of silos. Let the crafters do all the figuring it out. But then there's the other part of it. The crafting system still is not as good as I'd like to see it, and it's not as good as I'm pretty sure the devs want to make it, because you still need probably all them component factories in there to make the most complicated recipes work. I don't think they've got much of that done yet, or much new done on that yet. So right here, as you can see, I'm getting my scrappers kind of laid out, trying to keep in mind the shape of the ground and everything, and the terrain I'm going to be having to go over, because I do want this thing to be able to handle just about any terrain, because that was the other part. As I said, it wouldn't be able to drive, wouldn't be able to handle the crazy terrain we got, because it'd be so big. Well, big things can move wonders. And I'm going to try and show that, eventually. But first, I got to get to that point where I'll actually be something more than just the innards. Got to get some skin on this beast. Get my receivers moved around a bit. And now I know it looks probably a little weird that I got my fabricators right up at the front. Well, sort of the front. I got to turn my cab still. Not exactly sure why I didn't notice that, but there. Got her turned. At least one of the ways that it'll drive. Yeah, I'm not sure why I did that. Usually I double check that, make sure I'm building in line so everything goes on easier with the block paint and that. So, I don't know. Well, boo-boo for me. Anyway, I'll get some armor on this. Make her look a little more protected and sturdy. I thought, let's just see how it runs. Ah, crap, better shut all them or I'll have a friggin' full load. Oh, no, I set it up wrong. Ah, crap. Yeah, damn it. Fed the lines into the wrong way. I got all confused. Had 3 ideas going at once. The wrong one took first place. But anyway, we'll get it all figured out. I tend to do boo-boos like that. It's alright. Usually it doesn't add much time onto a build, but sometimes I just don't get that part done as fast as I would have liked. Because now you see I've moved on. As I'm thinking about my ideas that I want to do on that, I go and work on other parts. So there. Got a little green to it. I kind of like that. Now we'll get back into this. So let's see what we're going to do here for real. I kind of like the silos just because they're a good dump off. And then you can sort and separate from there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Components, I have a use for them, but I don't really want them. So there. Go like that. That ain't going to work. Maybe. I'll have to change some stuff around at the other end, but no, that's too big. Let's go with that one. I don't want to have nothing but huge silos or you end up with 4,000 chunks on your tech, and meanwhile there's no way you're going to use them faster than you can pick them up. Well, some, yeah, because you don't find them that often, but don't need an insane amount of storage on this, just enough to, craft a few blocks. I think that's alright. So yeah, that should do alright like that, I believe. Get some power put on here. Yeah, a few more batteries. You can never have enough batteries. We all know this. Yeah, a little more green too. I like green. Yeah, that works on so many levels. Anyone giggling right now, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, it does not help with that cough. No. There, we'll get us a little more fuel on this thing too, because I plan on maybe having a little speed boost built in here somewhere too. I got me some ideas. So one thing I've been trying to do is use more of the parts that I didn't normally use before. So like rockets, I never used to use them too much. I'd always use propellers because they don't run out of fuel, right? So it's a more safe bet. It's a safer bet for a flyer. But They are really nice on a land tech, just as like an escape booster, or even just a let's not screw around driving through this boring desert for 5 minutes, let's make it a minute. And the nice thing with them is they have an on and off switch with the shift button. Propellers, when they're on the ground, they just want to drive as soon as you hit forward. So you can get a pretty jumpy tech if you got a lot of them on there. And it's harder to control like that. So the rockets are good for boosting on land. The propellers are superior for in the air. For like an airplane. VTOLs are a different story. They're a little trickier. And helicopters. But we're not making a helicopter. We're making this. So yeah, we're going to go somewhere like that maybe. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. That might be alright for now. Like that. Get a little armor going here. I like protection. I'm not going to say nothing else about protection. Yeah, I kind of figured I better put in some armor because after this gets a little farther, I'm going to start probably closing it in a bit. And it could get tricky to get anything in here. Because I got an idea. And I'm not sure if it's going to work. I know it's not going to look it's not going to look right because of the colors of the resources, but maybe it'll look close. Close is alright. I can deal with close. There. Kind of like that. That's like one of my new favorite things too. Just put armor over the conveyors to block them out. Don't have to look at them. You see they're just the resources floating above. It's kind of nice. It's a little nicer visual than seeing those conveyors running all the time on some techs. And this one, I don't know if I'm going to see that part, but there's a good chance. And if I'm going to, I'd rather not see a whole bunch of moving stuff. Just because what I'm hoping to make this into. And yeah, it's getting a little taller. Oh, that's the part I didn't really want to do. And it just got another one taller. Oh well. Good thing I'm not trying to keep this one small, eh? But I do need that section for the refined. So that's what I'm building here. We're going to make it like a ring or a collar around the front of this. I think it'll work out quite nicely. I'll store my resources for my crafting expeditions and whatnot. But, as always, gotta get her set up first. So I want to get this thing filled up. Well, not necessarily in this video, but I want to get this thing to a point before I really give her a crafting test where I got resources in every one of these silos. Because then I know it has the best chance of working. And now that we have all these awesome treasure blocks, like you can see right there, not an issue. Not here in the creative mode. Yeah, this is a creative mode, not one of my creative saves. I've been having a heck of a time trying to get one of them to work with this new loading text kind of stuff. When I could just use money and buy a tech, I had no problems. Now that it says it wants to load them and won't maybe try and use them in my SKU, I don't know. I had one that kind of worked yesterday, but all it did, it spawned in a plane. All it did the black bubble, and then I left 2 wings, and that was it. And then 1 wing disappeared, and the other wing got sucked into my SKU. So I was out of luck on that one. So I don't really know. I don't see why it would be the creative save doing it, but maybe. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a brand new playthrough from this update, since it has, I think, everything in it that I was waiting for. And then I'm going to go from there and give it my best. I'm going to just play the snot out of it when I can. I'm going to be busy a little bit this weekend, so I don't know if I'm going to get her done. So I'm going to try, though. It's going to be a bit, so unfortunately there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 showcases that are in the R&D again, or the creative mode, or a combination of the two. We'll see how it all turns out. I'm almost maybe even thinking of just postponing this week's showcase. I'm not saying I'm gonna yet, but I'm thinking about it. Just because I think that the people auditioning really deserve to get the campaign kind of feel to their showcase, so they can see their techs in the video, in action, fighting real enemies in real terrain, doing that kind of stuff like we normally would do in the campaign. So I don't know, that maybe not. I do really still want to put out the showcase shows, so I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. Maybe I can find a way where I'll be happy with the final result, and we'll have one this week. So fingers crossed. If not a showcase, I'm still gonna try and have a video for Saturday anyway. Gonna try. Not guaranteeing nothing though, because Saturday is my real busy day that I was telling you about. But I think I'm going to call this one right around in here. So as always, if you did like what you saw, please throw the likes at me. Comments, subscriptions, ding that bell. Don't forget about the Saturday Showcase. And if you happen to be interested in helping out the little channel with a small $2 donation, that would also get your name thrown into a draw for a 3D printed tech that's currently valued at $40, but it could go higher depending on the support and the donations. So, if you're interested, it's all down in the description, along with the auditions link for the showcase. So until next time, everybody, keep being the awesome, keep having a good one. Bye. See what I do with the intro and the outro? Swap them. Kind of neat, I think. Take her easy.